Hi, my name is Rich Passanow. This is my tiny home in the Cottages on Vaughn Tiny House community in Clarkston, Georgia. My tiny home is the smallest one in this community. It is 250 square feet of living space. The other homes are approximately 500 square feet. We're here at the Cottages on Vaughn. We're actually standing in front of our common garden area where we have a lot of edible plants, a lot of flowers, a lot of trees. One of the great things about living here is that it has a sense of community, and that's fostered by the fact that all the houses face each other. All of the houses have large front porches, and we have a common parking area. We don't have garages in our houses, and walk by our houses, and we actually have conversations as people are coming to and from work, for instance. Let's take a look at one of the favorite places I love to be, at my front porch. So I'm standing on my 80 square foot front porch where I spend the vast majority of my time. I read out here, I eat my meals out here, I'll have a glass of wine out here, and it just really adds to the feeling of space that I have, even though my house is tiny. So the color of my house is hunter green. All the residents got together before the houses were even finished to coordinate the colors, but they go very well together and as a community. So come on inside and take a look at my tiny house. Welcome to my tiny house. We are standing in my living room / dining room / office / kitchen. The house feels more spacious than it is for two main reasons. One, the large windows that let in a lot of sunlight, and the high ceilings, which are also create a very big sense of space in a really tiny space. So a lot of people are very surprised about what's behind this door. It is my laundry room, which also serves as a coat hanger place, a place for my backpack. I have a little step stool there and brooms and mops and stuff. It's all very skinny stuff, but it's in there. The furniture was all bought brand new for this house, obviously because I couldn't have normal sized furniture in here. It looks like a big normal sized couch, but it's actually a love seat. The kitchen, it's a normal stove and microwave, nothing special about it. The refrigerator is 3/4 size. It's 3/4 the size of an average refrigerator, and that's just so it would fit into the space. I don't have a lot of counter space, but I do have a cover over my oven here that I can use this to do food prep. Over here, again, to maximize the space that I have this pull-out table, and this leaf comes up. There are stools underneath it, and it really makes a perfect dining spot for 1 or 2 people. Another very cool thing about my house are the blinds. They pull from the top and the bottom, so I can really adjust the amount of light exactly the way I want it. Another great thing about these blinds is it does offer privacy while still being able to leave the blind open. So I can just pull it down right here so all people can see is my head and the rest of me is hidden. So I do have an 80 square foot loft. This is the ladder that goes up to it. I only use my loft because it's smaller for storage. I just have a few boxes. A lot of my neighbors in this community use their lofts for office space or an extra bedroom because they're larger than mine. Because I have a very tiny closet in my tiny house, I change out my clothes every season. So about 2 weeks ago, I brought down my summer clothes, put up my winter clothes and all my heavy winter jackets. And that's one of the things I use my loft for. I am 60 years old. I've worked in TV for most of my career. I have a great relationship going on right now, and I live in a tiny house. So my life is pretty good right now. I am a runner. I started running about 7 or 8 years ago. When I started doing that, I lost about 80 pounds, and I'm the healthiest I've been my entire life. And mentally too, it's just great for my mental outlook as well. So I never believed in the runner's high until I started doing it, and it's a thing. As a result of a divorce, I was looking for volunteer opportunities, and I was also looking for a place to live. So I was at my dentist's office one day. In the waiting room, they had a HGTV on, and there was a show about tiny houses. And I was looking at that, I want one of those. I want a tiny house. So I went home and Googled Tiny House Atlanta to see there must be thousands of them around here. There weren't, there were none, but there was an organization called Tiny House Atlanta that came up. So I emailed Will Johnston, who's now my neighbor. I said, where can I get a tiny house? And he says, well, you can't yet, but if you'd like to volunteer for us, maybe you can help make it happen. So I signed up as a volunteer. I really was doing a lot of outreach with the community. I was helping them with their tiny house festivals, basically whatever was needed to be done. And right about the time I joined them, the Cottages on Vaughn in Clarkston was approved by the mayor and the city council at the time. The plans were on the wall, and I said, I want the smallest one. I want the 250 square foot one. Now we come to this corner of the great room. This is my tiny office. I always joke with people that after 40 years of working, I finally got a corner office with the windows. So because of COVID, I was 100% work from home for about 2 years. And I really love this space for my office because I have 2 windows so I can see everything that's going on. I can see all my neighbors coming and going. I'm on a first name basis with all the FedEx and UPS drivers. And it's just, again, such an inviting and full of light office that it just really makes for a great work environment. So I do have quite a bit of art. I have limited wall space, but I try and fill it up as much as possible with some really beautiful pieces of art. These 3 are some Andy Warhols, not originals unfortunately, but they really kind of, again, tie in with the general color of the room. And I have several other pieces of art. One of my favorite pieces is over here. It actually serves 2 purposes. 1, it's just attractive to look at, and 2, it hides the electrical junction box. And on the other side is what I like to say is my walk-in closet. It holds exactly the number of clothes I need for the week, and it just works out perfect for me. I have some sliding drawers that I can store a lot of things, and I also have some space above that I store books and other things as well. Because, again, the space is so limited, it's very important to have organization. I actually bought this unit and had it installed with the thought of being able to fit as many things in it as possible. So let's go to my bedroom. My bedroom is literally the size of a bed, a queen-size bed. People always ask, is there any challenges you have in living in a tiny house? And I would say, really, the only thing I miss is being able to have like a bedside table. I actually have this little shelf that I put up that I can put things like the remote for the fan and some cards that my girlfriend sent me. So yeah, that's basically all I need. So I really love the ceiling fan above my bed. It really keeps the air circulating. It keeps the air from the mini split air conditioner in the great room circulating in here in the summer, which means very cool and comfortable nights. Another piece of art I really enjoy is this one. It's actually a painting of MARTA trains, which is the public transportation system in Atlanta. I am a huge fan of public transportation. I take it as often as I can. We actually have a bus stop just a block away from here. I think it's important to have a strong public transportation system because we have proven that widening roads doesn't help the traffic situation. And Atlanta is notorious for traffic jams and hours spent on highways sitting there. It causes more pollution, it wastes time, and I just sit on the bus or the train and wave at people as they sit in their cars.
Drinking water should be clean and tasty. Fortunately, it's never been easier with SimPure V7 under-sink water filter. When water goes in, it goes through an advanced 5-stage filtration process that's certified to reduce up to 99% of chlorine, heavy metals like lead, bad tastes and odors, and other impurities. Unlike other under-sink filters, it's not plastic. Instead, it's made from BPA-free, food-grade stainless steel that effectively resists corrosion and any leakage. Installation is an absolute breeze. It's 100% DIY and renter-friendly, no drilling required. Simply connect the appropriate hoses to the V7 and to your kitchen's cold water line. The entire process can be done in like 3 minutes. And now sit back and enjoy healthy, tasty drinking water.
Nailed it.
Get your SimPure V7 under-sink water filter today. Use our code to get an exclusive discount.
One thing that people are always surprised about is my bathroom. So even though this is a normal sized bathroom, I still maximize the space in it. For instance, this piece of furniture is also storage. I store towels here, and I'm able to use the top space to put a picture of me and my girlfriend, and another piece of art. So one of the cool things while we were building our house is we got to choose several of the elements. We got to choose the color of our tile, our hardwood floors, and again, it's just a normal size shower. So because this is just a regular subdevelopment, we each own our own lots. My lot is 777 square feet. So because of that, we were able to get just a regular home mortgage. My house cost $112,000, and that includes the $8,000 for the solar panels on the roof. So my mortgage runs about $625 a month, which is very affordable, and that was, again, really one of the benefits of buying a house this small. So because I have solar power, my electric bills run about $15 a month, summer, winter, fall, and we don't have gas here in this community at all, but the water bill runs about $15 or $20 a month too. So the total of my utility bills every month runs about $35 to $40 a month. There is a homeowners association here that I'm the president of, and there is a fee of $110 a month that pays for our common garden area, maintenance, the electricity for our 2 car chargers that we have outside. As far as the rules go, it's pretty flexible compared to a lot of HOAs I've heard about. There are no rules about selling the house. We could have sold it the day after we bought it if we really wanted to. There is a rule about renting. Only one house can be rented at a time. And again, that's to kind of create a more sense of community, a more long-term sense of community. My tiny house has exactly the amount of space I need. That's the thing I like about it most. It keeps me from collecting a lot of things and having a lot of clutter. Everything's right at hand. A lot of people ask me, how do you like it after 3 years? I like it more. I have never felt crowded or like it was not enough space. Because I have such a large front porch where I spend a lot of my time, it really adds to the space that I have. A 250 square foot house is not for everybody. And I understand that. And when we do tours and people come and say, oh, I could never live in a house this small. It's like, maybe not, but maybe you could live in a 1,000 square foot house, which is still smaller than average. In the normal single family house, you drive your car into the garage, close the garage, don't interact with your neighbors hardly at all. And that's not the way it used to be. Everybody thinks this is a new concept, but really, this is the way it used to be. There used to be townhouses and brownstones and places like that, very dense living areas that we got away from due to the proliferation of single-family houses. So I think we're just getting back to the way it was 100 years ago or 150 years ago, really. My girlfriend loves coming over here. She thinks it's the cutest thing ever. This house is probably too small to have 2 people live in comfortably, but she does love to come over and visit. When I bought this house, she was actually living in a fairly large house and her kids had just moved out. So she was inspired by me to downsize. Not quite this much, but she did buy about half the size of a house that she used to live in. So there's still 3 bedrooms, so when her kids come and visit, it's lots of space for them. But again, it's just enough space she needs, and people don't need humongous houses to live in, really. I've learned a lot about zoning over the last 3 years, and it's the area that I really want to get into. And trying to change zoning boards and city councils and mayors' ideas about these sorts of projects and the more dense housing in general, whether it's duplexes, quadplexes, townhomes, whatever. It's an uphill climb. It's something that I've been working on, MicroLife has been working on, and we're chipping away at it.
Thank you for watching our video and for stopping by Tiny House Expedition. I'm Alexis.
And I'm Christian. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
And for more tiny home tours and stories, click the videos below.
And join us on Instagram for bonus content,
including face-to-face conversations with us. We hope to see you there.
All right.
Thanks, guys.
Have a good one.